Right, right. So why I started telling that? See, in HTML level, generally in HTML level, if you write H1, automatically it will display with that much of text size, right? H2 will come a bit smaller than H1. Yeah, see this point. Already we know this point already. If you write H1 here, it comes with this much of size. Okay, if you are using H2, it comes as it's smaller than H1, right? So who written this functionality? HTML creators, they written that functionality. If you use H1, it will display like this much of size. If you use H2, it will display this much of size. They are already written for you. Okay, but I want to create tags like that. I want to create my own functionality. For that, we are creating our components. Okay, creating component is what? Creating our own tag. Okay, so like H1, for example, if you click on H1, how it is displayed this much size? Because they already written that code for you in a file name called user agent style sheet. Because of this file, your H1 is coming like this. Same way, if you click on H2, it comes like this, no? Because of the reason, already written code for that. Same way, you are creating your own component name sample.js, maybe hello.js. You are creating your own component, own tag. So that tag you're calling here, and it is displaying on the browser. Okay, and I will tell you one more point here. In the last class we created sample component, right? In today's class I created hello component. Okay, so I just want to remove this hello from display. I don't want to display hello now. How many components displayed in the browser? 1 second, it is compiling. Yeah, so only 2 components are displayed in the browser. One is app, second one is sample. I created hello, but I'm not displaying it. So I want to display my hello. What I have to do now? Use the tag where? In the app.js or in sample.js also. So try to understand point. If you created a component, which component is displayed on the browser? Try to understand first and later call it. Now you have a hello component. Either you can call that into app, either you can call that into sample. We have the 2 options, or else you can call it into both. So you can import like this and try to place here this one, and second I want to call that into sample also. Okay, I am getting error. I will tell you what error I am getting. I will tell you later. So as of now, place all those tags inside the div. Okay, I will tell you in a short time. I will tell you why I am getting error. So now see, yeah, hello displayed 2 times. Yeah, one from app, one from sample. Can you tell me which is come from app, which is come from the sample? Yeah, if you want to go to inspect, okay. So, can you tell me which is coming from which one?
On the mouse, left top.
Yeah. Any option?
Mouse. Beside elements.
Elements.
Elements next to that. That is mobile view, and before that there is a mouse.
Mouse. Okay. Mouse.
So
Okay.
then we can click on that particular component where it is being displayed. Sources.
Sources. Okay. You can go here.
Sample component also.
Yeah. We'll do that kind of. But can't you imagine which one is coming from which place?
First one is coming from sample, and second one is coming from AppJS.
Yeah. Anyone?
At a time, it is calling the sample.js. In sample.js, the hello world is written,
Hmm.
and then it is moving on to app.js.
Right.
Line by line.
Right. Very clear. So have any questions from anyone? See, his point is what? You are executing app component. This is completely app component. In the app component, what we written? Welcome to React world. It is displayed. Then I called sample. If you want to open app component code. So we're in app component. First, my h1 is displayed. Then I call sample. So my compile goes to sample. So in sample, what I have? Sample component and hello. Hello means again we'll go to hello. That hello world will display. Then we come again to app.js, and here from here it will display hello. So try to understand. This is coming from app component. Of course, this is completely coming from app. This is the app component own content. This is the content coming from sample. This is the content we are getting from the hello. Hello component.
But how do we distinguish? I didn't get it.
Sorry?
How do we distinguish what is coming from?
How do we understand, right?
Which hello word is coming from either app.js? I didn't understand.
Yeah, very simple, very simple. See, we are in app component, right? First, what we call, what we try to display? H1. That is displayed on the browser. Welcome to React world. Completed. Then you are going to the sample. So don't worry about the hello. Where is the sample? Sample. So go into that. Okay? That your H2, that is sample component is displayed. Then hello world will display. Okay? After hello world, so we completed up to this. This is coming from app directly. This is coming from sample. And the last one again coming from app. Hello world. From hello world it's coming.
There's an error that
You're getting it.
can you show the code once? Just
Because this is not our architecture. Our architecture is to create the components and try to call. Don't try to create variation difference, because here we are not going to try to write direct HTML. like this. Yeah, we are created 3 components. App is default component. We created 2, sample as well as hello. Okay. Yeah. So try to understand. It is reusable, right? I called hello twice. I called into app as well as I called it to sample also. So it is reusable. You can call it n number of times. Hello, I just called n number of. Same way, you can call sample n number of times in another components.
What is the export default template?
See, this function scope within the file, but I want to access another file. So for that, I'm exporting here. Somewhere I can import.
Within the function, you can
See,
call it like
we are here, no? Someone wants to me access another room. Generally, you can access me in this room only, but someone wants to access me in another room. So we need to give some permission. So I'm giving permission, that is export. So if you use export, someone can import.
in this case, a different project can also do this function. In export, what does the export do?
What is this hello function? So this definition you are exporting.
To where? Because how
So you're telling to my JavaScript. So I am going to access this file somewhere. So when you are importing, it knows what you are exported.
if I do not write this, right, I cannot use this function anywhere else.
You can't. So you are giving permission here. If for example you are not exported here, somewhere and trying to import, definitely it will not allow. It throws you error.
That we'll have to open that function also. If we are importing hello or sample or any,
Hmm.
then the function should also be the same.
If you write import,
No, not name. For the standards we are giving same names. See, for example, your file name is hello, right? Here you can write world, but you have to export world only, because this is function definition. And somewhere when you are importing, you can write import world from hello. Okay. Yeah. So here, just try to understand. You given your file name, right? Or given file name. So this is what you exported from this file. Okay? Yeah. So now you understand how to create component, how to display it. Next. Here, one rule we need to understand. Later I will tell you about JSX, but I'm just giving you idea of JSX. See, we are inside JavaScript, right? We are inside JavaScript. JavaScript file will not allow to write HTML code. Generally, for example, in any JavaScript file, for example, you will write like this. It will not allow because you can't write HTML code inside JavaScript. In HTML file, when you open script tag, you can write JavaScript. But once if you enter into JavaScript, you can't write HTML. So, but it allowing me to write HTML code because I'm just mouse hovering on it. See, it's showing me something. JSX. So we already created project, right? Using create React app. It is already set up all those things. We are not worried about anything. So it's already given a library name called JSX. JavaScript and XML. So that is a combination. It's allowing us to write HTML code. So in our point of view, we are writing HTML, but in React point of view, we are writing JSX. Okay. So we will discuss when we are talking about JSX. We will discuss. But one problem is there. Already someone faced this kind of issues. For example, I just written this one. You are getting error. What is that error we are getting? Yeah. So what is that error? JSX expressions must have one parent element. Means at least you need to. These two are siblings, right? Not about H1, H2. maybe it is anything, maybe it's paragraph. These two are siblings now. You don't have a parent. Place them inside the div. You must need one parent element at least. So try to place all your children elements inside one parent element at least. This is a JSX rule. So already someone already faced that issue. I think I already told you. So you have to place all your tags inside the div, open and close. Okay. So otherwise you will face the issues. And inside, for example, I am trying to open UL, LI, and try to display some data. 1, 2, like this. Now it will display in the browser. 1, 2, 3, display in the browser. What the HTML you want to write, you just write inside that. Okay?
So one parent div tag is
Mandatory.
mandatory.
Later, if
So
we,
it is not only div is used tag. We can use head also. We can use body also.
Absolutely.
Whatever is there.
Absolutely.
Any of the parent tag you have to use.
you need. So for that we have a substitution. There is a name called fragment.
Correct.
We will discuss that fragment. Okay. So as of now we are using div. Okay. Yeah. Now, in any programming language, we have to discuss about variable declarations and its scopes, right? In React, we can declare variable in two different styles. One is called state, second one is called props. Please make a heading. What is that? State.
Inside the component.
Yeah, inside the component. Absolutely. Inside the component, we can declare a variable in two different ways. One is state, second one is props. Okay. State. If you declare a variable using state, okay, state of the variable, the scope of the variable within the component. Okay, if you use state to declare a variable, the scope of the variable belongs to the same component. Okay, na? So coming to props. Okay, so if you already know parent and child, already app is the parent, sample is the child, and hello you called into app is the parent, hello is the child, and you called hello into sample is the parent, hello is the child. In that, so now we can pass the data from parent to child. Scope is big matter. Now you can't understand, but when you are developing applications, scope is a big matter. So if the scope within component, if you declare a variable, the variable scope within the component, that is, you have to declare that variable using state. If you want to pass the data from parent to child, you have to use props. Okay. Yeah. Now I want to see. I want to differentiate. Before going to that state and props, I want to give you idea of this. See, for example, we created hello.js, right? So try to create hello.cs file. Okay. You can import that hello.css. Don't worry, just try to understand the concept. You no need to implement it, just try to understand the concept. See, I just created hello.css file and I called that hello.css. So if you want to write any CSS of this component, you can place here. This written part, this HTML portion. If you want to write any HTML code, you can write here. If you want to write any JavaScript, you can write here. Of this component. Okay? Your CSS, JavaScript, HTML. I created a CSS file. I just created a CSS file inside the SRC itself. And I called here. If you want to write any CSS about this component, you can write here. JavaScript portion, HTML portion. Okay, so please try to understand JavaScript, HTML, JavaScript, HTML. Don't worry about the CSS. JavaScript portion, inside written HTML portion. Okay. Yeah. So now I want to use. I want to declare a variable. Okay, using state. So maybe my variable name is A, for example. To update this variable, you have to set up a method name. You can give anything. For example, you can give X. A is the variable, X is the method to update the A.
So like we use in lambda function.
Exactly, lambda. So one is the variable, second one is the function to execute that variable. Update the variable. Okay. So now try to use state. Okay. What you have to do? You have to import that use state from the React library. Okay. So because I want to use state to declare a variable inside the component. Okay. So inside, what the value you are passing? Now what is my A value? 10. My A value is 10. X is a method to update the A. Okay. So now what I have to do? I want to display my A variable inside this component. I want to take A up to the HTML level. I want to display. So generally in JavaScript, what we done? You use document.getElement by ID, and from the JavaScript level you are passed. But now our JavaScript and HTML communicating each other using what? Here I am trying to write something. You can use any tag. Maybe I am trying to write H1 inside. Yeah, this is called interpolation. This is called interpolation, which is used to bind your property. I just written A here, which A is displayed on the browser. I will show you. 10 is displayed on the browser, right? Don't worry, I will repeat again. Just try to understand. It is displayed on the browser. That A variable displayed on the browser. How to display? So first, import useState. Step 1. What? Import useState from React library. First one. Step 1 is what? Import useState from React library. Then declare like this inside the component. So this is your variable name. You can take anything. Take some method name, anything. Using that we are going to update the A. And using useState, you are assigning this 10 to A variable. My A value is 10. Using this interpolation, I displayed A on the browser. Please implement this. Please implement. If you have any doubt, I will clarify. Yeah, close you are getting error. Any questions?
And UL?
UL unordered list. Okay, so you're talking your questions about list. We have different tags now: OL, UL, LI, DL, DD, DT. Anyone getting error? Any component. Okay. Question? No problem, right? Yeah.
Why have you given this H1 like?
Not only in HTML, in A tag you can place,
No, not in
but interpolation.
That
Interpolation.
curly brackets and A.
Yeah. So that is called interpolation. Why we are using interpolation? So already we discussed one point. What is that? Above written you have to write JavaScript. After written you have to write HTML code. So you can't write JavaScript here, you can't write HTML above written. So, but what we are doing, that A is belongs to variable, JavaScript variable. A belongs to JavaScript variable that you are using inside the HTML. So HTML need to allow that script. That's why you are using interpolation. So using interpolation, you are writing JavaScript variables inside HTML. Okay. So yeah, just write interpolation as heading. I will tell you something. Interpolation. Make interpolation as heading. Using interpolation, curly braces. Okay. Using interpolation, we can bind. Using interpolation, we can bind properties or variables and functions inside HTML. Okay?
Properties of
Functions and variables inside HTML. Okay, because we are inside. So from JavaScript, that's good. From JavaScript. Because you can understand, like this is my variable, and this is HTML code, this is JavaScript part, this is the HTML part. You can't access this here. You can't access this here. So what we are doing, we have taken a variable and to bind here without this interpolation, directly it will display A on the browser. Simply it will print A. So instead of that, I want to print 10. So I just binded that property here. Okay. So next, I want to update this variable. Okay, I want to update this variable. So create a function. So before using this, I want to tell you function syntaxes.
So before that,
Yeah, please.
since we have written x for the as the method whatever we will be using. So, for example, I want to print 10 square a square.
Ah.
So a will be remaining constant. X will be used as x square. So where will we declare that
This x you want to make it as,
x square?
so it's not like that. X is a function.
Correct. So that function will return me a value of a square of whatever variable I am putting.
Yeah, we can write.
How?
See, we need to write events, no? That events. So next we have events topic. So now I'm going to that part, but see here I'm going to use arrow functions. So I want to introduce you arrow functions. Later I will use. So that's why I'm going to introduce you arrow functions. Later I will come back here. Definitely I will tell you today to update the variable a. Okay? Yeah. So next. So we already declared a function like this, right? A, B, C. Return hello. Example. This is one different type of function declaration. Declaration style 1 or syntax 1. And going to the syntax 2. So the above one using function keyword. Okay. Next we can use syntax 2. This is not to use function keyword. People invented a new concept name called arrow function. So if you send one second, I'm sorry. Okay, yeah. So that is the first function syntax. Second one, no need to use function keyword. Instead of that, try to use arrow function. So try to declare ABC as variable and try to use arrow here. Simple. Try to send this function to this side. It becomes arrow. Okay. So constant my function name. This treat as a variable. Okay. It's a variable syntax, and this is an arrow. Okay.
Curly bracket equals to greater than sign is the
Arrow. Okay. Either you can declare function like this, either you can declare function like this. Okay. And my third syntax. Third syntax. So if you don't want to use this curly brace, so now no need to use return. It will directly returns. So this is called shorthand syntax. This means you are returning. If you call ABC from anywhere, automatically hello will return. Three syntaxes, okay?
This is also called arrow function.
Arrow function. That's the third one also arrow function. Somewhere we'll use third syntax, somewhere we'll use second syntax. Now people are not interested to use syntax 1. Syntax 2, syntax 3. If when you're using arrow, if you seen curly brace, this brace, then you have to understand I need to return explicitly. See here you have to return, right? You have to use return keyword. Here without using return keyword you can return. So we'll use these two syntaxes. Okay, so okay. Now I want to create this function in our React. Okay, so maybe click me. Okay, and instead of returning something, I just want to write x of what you require? Square. So a into a. Okay. So when do you want to return a into a? So when you click on the button. I think you know right about events. Click. Maybe here I will write square. Okay. On click here, C will be capital. Generally when we are talking about JavaScript, no need. Again I am opening interpolation. Yeah, here you can write click me. No need to call click me with parenthesis. Okay, so because here so many things happening, so you can understand slowly. But what we are doing, when you click on the button, I am going to call that function. Function name is click me. Okay, in that I am using x. X is a method to update the a. So inside you can write anything. So I don't want to write a into a here. I want to write 20. Later I will write a into a. Okay, means what? First one will go with simple concept. No, I will stand right. When you click on the button, I will print 20. That's it. Okay, it's not square. Simple. I'm just write click. Okay. So now go to your browser. Yeah, there is a button. Click button. If you click on this button, it becomes 20. Okay. So you can write a into a. You're getting error. Any questions? Clear? So this is, now you understand, right? When we are writing JavaScript, you have a HTML file, you have a JavaScript file, you are writing logic and you are connecting. If you want to connect, you have to use document.getInput.id, and using that you have to capture element .inner HTML. Big story, but you can see enough. We will write all these things in single file to communicate HTML and JavaScript. So too much advanced, and there are so many things involved, and I'm giving you the basic level. Even the basic level, we written so many things, right? Yeah. So now the task is like what? You can take two variables. No need to take two variables. Yeah, we'll do one thing. We'll take only single variable and we'll write counter program. So for that, we'll create one more component. Okay, please create a component, counter component. Create counter component. Try to write counter logic, counter.js. Okay, now you know how to create components, right? We will use shortcut. So I don't want to write complete logic. I have a shortcut. For that, try to install a extension. This option. Extensions. Click on extensions. There is I install an extension name called ES7 plus React Redux React Native Snippets. That one I installed. Please install this snippet. Click on extensions and try to install this ES7 plus React Redux. That snippet you have to install. Yeah. So you have to click on the last option. ES7. If you are already installed, no problem at all. Okay. So now the shortcut to create component. Install or not? You need internet. You are already installed. Your component. Go to counter.js component. After this installation, see, I just want to give you shortcut to create component. R stands for React. You can write F. F stands for functional component. There is C, E. You can write R stands for React. F stands for function. C stands for component. E stands for export. R, F, C, E. You can write, you can click on tab. Okay, so no need to write earlier because you need to understand the syntax. That's why I told you. So what is the shortcut? R, F, C, E. So you click on enter or tab. So automatically your component is created. So every time creating component, writing those many lines, no need. No. So if you want to create arrow component, you can use R, F, arrow component also created. RAFCE. No need. R starts from React. No. If you want to create A, then automatically intelligence works. You can enter tab automatically. No need to remember. RA. Normal function, either you can create arrow function. So simple. R stands for React, F stands for function, A stands for arrow function. Okay, we are created our component now. Okay, we are created our component. So next, see, same like function, no? So this is my JavaScript portion, and this is my HTML portion. And here I'm trying to create my counter variable. I just want to write count. See, first variable name, that is count. I need a method, right? Give proper names, give set count. Even you can give X also, no problem, that's completely your wish. I just want to give set count, which is equal to use state, which is already imported. So VS Code intelligence works. When I'm writing use state, automatically it's imported above. Okay, and initially I want to give 0 value. Any questions? What is my count value? 0. Count value is 0. Using set count, I'm going to update the count variable, and this is my component. Any questions? Yeah. So very simple. I just created a component. Maybe that is arrow function, maybe normal function. I just created. In the 4th line, I just want to use count variable, and I use it set count to update the count variable. Okay. One thing. Come down to this level. Here you can use anything. Maybe I'm trying to use H2 to display this count. Okay, count. Okay, I am just trying to display count variable, and go up. Try to declare 2 functions. One is for increment, second one for decrement. Constant inc. So very simple. I'm trying to use arrow function. Yeah. Set count, that is count to plus 1. One is for increment, second one for decrement. Copy paste. You can write -1, and this is for DEC. Okay, so try to write increment and decrement. 2 functions you can place.
That we have used equally brackets, so it means
Yeah.
to place it, we have to write return also, right? In that. No.
No need to write return, because this is a
You
method.
can directly use without using curly braces itself.
Yeah, of course you can use. Okay, so next what I'm trying to do, I have to create 2 buttons. One is for increment, I have to create one for decrement, and if you click on plus, I want to increment the value. If you click on minus, I will decrement the value. Okay, so here try to use a button I'm just using plus, and after this I want to use minus, and here on click INC, and here I can use DEC. Any questions? So if you click on this button, I am calling this, and from this using this set count I am incrementing this plus 1. Now it is 0, right? 0 plus 1 1, 1 plus 1 2, 2 plus 1 3, this one. So if you click on this, I am calling this, again you are calling this count value at that time. For example, if it is 3, 3 minus 1, 2, like that. So which is binded here, it will update every time. Which?
We can remove the H2, right?
Yeah, H2 we are displaying our count. Count.
We can write H1 also.
H1 also, paragraph also. That's completely with tags, no problem at all.
Again, but I'm getting an error.
I will come. Take one more component for better understanding. You take a counter component, you return that value. You have to call that counter in the app component. App.is and call counter component. Import. Import. So actually we don't need import like this. Then we call counter here automatically import. Before this section. Close your counter. It's closed. Now see, you will get out. Go to the list. You got it. You come to the place. But here you are not using button. Something very basic. Go to the counter program. Button staying to your given now. So I just created, I am not called it, you know. So try to call that counter into app component. So then we created component, right? First our component is created. Go to app.js. Yeah. So I want to place my output top of the browser. So before this h1, what I'm placing? Counter. See, every time you no need to write import counter from counter. No need to write like that. What you need to do? So here directly go to the HTML portion. Try to write like this, counter. See, you can see counter is showing me, right? If you click on enter, automatically it will import it. Intelligence works. Okay, then close it. Now save this, go to browser. Yeah, there it is. You can place, click on place, you can click on minus. Yeah, I will come. So in the counter, I'm just using break to place my plus minus in the next lines. Okay, so wait for some time. Automatically it will open the output open in the browser level. So if anyone not get this output, please tell me. Okay, you got the output right? Maybe have errors. Yeah, counter that counter into app component. Counter repeated, right? So clear, right? So this is the way we are working. Now just try to understand React. So for example, you are doing some mistake in this button. I will directly tell you, go to counter component. So for example, when you are writing with HTML and CSS, you will place all these lines in one HTML file. If you get any error, what I will tell you, go to that HTML file. So if it is having 2000 lines of code, we need to find where is the error. But now you are going to split this into pieces. If you get any error, you can go to that particular piece and you can edit. So that is the use of components. Okay, so yeah, that's it for now. We'll meet in the next class. We'll continue our discussion. Any questions? Okay, yeah.